Welcome to the Clashing of Steel. And today my topic is the troop movements. Simple yet important topic. Well, in this match I simply said and performed my role. I'm going to the middle, I'm hoping to catch a small glimpse of the opponents, I'm hoping to scout a bit, and then I will evaluate the situation and perhaps focus myself elsewhere. But it seems that elephants are taking the first look. Big and important part about every match is evaluating the situation you are in. Evaluating the number of troops, the number of opponents, the number of forces in certain locations, and how they will affect the match. Simply here I'm just taking a small look around and I'm trying to keep myself here to just in case, just to make a small difference if I need to. Even here, I'm willing to sacrifice this unit in case of delaying them and doing a reasonable amount of damage to them. Although I know I can't beat all three of them, I will at least be able to delay them a bit, if nothing else. So, seeing there are a huge number of troops basically in the middle, archers, everything's there. My focus is to help the one side to finish off the opponents and then switch focus back to middle, because this here, it's probably not going to work out the way I would love to. And these swordsmen aren't exactly the wisest of them. They have been kind of late to make a move, and yeah. I know this unit is lost because the spearmen are already here and the swordsmen realized they have nothing more to do. At least that's great, they realized the situation they're in, the predicament. But there are still many problems. I saw a huge number of troops in the middle. A lot of archers, a lot of infantry. But what else we noticed is that on the map, right side is basically empty. The east side of the map is basically empty. This must mean there are a lot of troops in the west. Although there are lots of troops in the west, you can already see it off the map and the engagement I am in. I'm trying to flank them and rout them. But our problem is that we are the next focus. Some of the troops in the middle, in this area, not all, ranged troops mostly, switched their focus to this location, the Western Front. As I realized that I am in a horrible situation right now, I am flanking, but I am getting harassed by the ranged units who are countering my flanking. So I simply need to switch my focus and create a situation where I can go after the ranged units. At the same time, because there is no one on the Eastern Front, or because they focused this front instead of the Eastern Front is pushing, and they're actually pushing rather well. They're already capturing, which is great news. And even when we're taking a look at the minimap, we can see that they have focused themselves horribly. I mean, they can still counter me and my team here, but because they have collected in this location, and the ranged units and their, well, defenders, we are in a hard location to manage, but then again, considering the first engagement, we were outmatched in the first place. At least by numbers. They just positioned themselves horribly. That is why we had the original advantage here. And since the match is basically won because they have all collected themselves into this area of the map, mostly to the western forest I think, and the watchtower, by doing so they have given up other areas of the map. I really need to clean my hard drive. Basically, opponents actually had a chance, but they just gave it up by focusing all on the western front. If they would have focused on the eastern instead, they might have had a better chance and actually countered us properly. But okay, so here's the scoreboard. I didn't do much, the match was rather fast. Most points I got off of flanking and the fighting with the horsemen. I lost one of my troops and got harassed by the archers in many ridiculous situations. It is no surprise that my team's best player are the elephants. They did very well and they destroyed the infantry right in the beginning of the match. They probably harassed a lot of other things as well. Two of the best opposing team's Germanicus players were in location where I tried to flank in the western tower. Sadly, I wasn't able to do much. I was trying to flank them, I was trying to make a difference, but just a huge mass of them was moving that way. So I got hammered in the back and lost some of my troops. The horsemen I fought against only got 1000 points, and I'm guessing 500 of them is from me, or nearly 600. opposing archers try to do much. I dodged a lot of their archer fire. I also try to harass them and force them to move instead of firing arrows, which is always an alternative to fighting and killing them. If you can force them to do something and they can't cause damage, that is also a victory. And of course the opposing team's Miltiades was also trying to defend those Ambiorix archers. Fortunately, I was able to still harass some of those ranged units, but I'm guessing it didn't matter as long as they were not going for the defense of their base. So troop movements are rather important. And if you see something like this being done, that all the troops are in just 2 areas and the flank is clear, in many cases it can just be great if you can delay your opponents and wait for a team to help you or capture the opponent base. Not even need to engage them, as long as they are forcing it, find a probable bottleneck and defend. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe and thanks for watching.